Look around, life has never been this advanced. We have more comfort than most humans in history ever had. And yet, why doesn't it always feel that way? Somehow progress and dissatisfaction can exist at the same time we keep moving forward, but the feeling of arrival never comes. You reach the goal you wanted for years, and something strange happens. The goal stops feeling special, so you start chasing the next one. More becomes the solution to never feeling enough. But what if more isn't actually the answer? What if the problem is inside the way we experience life? Human life has improved in extraordinary ways. We live longer, safer, and more comfortably than our ancestors. Medicine alone has transformed what survival means. Diseases that once terrified entire populations can now be treated. Distance itself has almost stopped meaning what it once did. We can reach almost anyone in seconds. Knowledge is everywhere. Answers that once required weeks now take seconds. So why aren't we automatically happier? Because happiness does not simply rise with convenience. The relationship is far more complicated. A better life on paper can still feel strangely empty. One reason is hidden inside the brain's ability to adapt. Imagine finally getting something you've wanted for years. At first it feels incredible, then something changes. The extraordinary becomes ordinary. Your brain gets used to it. Psychologists call this adaptation. The new phone feels amazing until it simply becomes your phone. Then you want the next one. The cycle can continue almost forever. This is one version of the hedonic treadmill. You move forward, but your emotional baseline moves with you, and that creates a strange illusion. You think happiness is one achievement away. The finish line keeps moving. The first problem with abundance is that abundance becomes normal. Comfort rises, but expectations rise too, and expectations can quietly become the new standard. What once felt luxurious eventually feels basic. The baseline keeps moving. Luxury can become normal, and normal can start feeling like deprivation. This is where dissatisfaction begins to grow, not because they have too little, but because what they have no longer feels special. Then technology introduced another problem. We no longer compare ourselves with the people around us. We compare ourselves with everyone, and almost everyone appears to be doing better, but we're not seeing their entire lives. We're seeing selected moments. The highlight reel replaces reality, and our brain compares them anyway. That's an impossible competition. Someone else's best day can make your normal day feel like failure, and the more we look, the more comparisons we create. The comparison machine never stops. But comparison isn't the only force pulling us forward. Our brains are built to anticipate rewards. The possibility of something exciting can capture attention instantly. Modern technology gives that system endless opportunities. Every notification promises something new and novelty. It's powerful. There is always another video, another product, another achievement, another version of yourself to become. The brain becomes focused on what's next, and sometimes the next thing becomes more important than the thing we already have. Modern life doesn't only give us more things, it gives us more things competing for attention. Our attention is constantly being interrupted. Work interrupts, rest interrupts, work. Even presence can become divided. We can be surrounded by people and still feel somewhere else. More information does not automatically create more clarity. Sometimes it creates noise, and constant noise makes peace harder to recognize. Then comes one of modern life's strangest contradictions. We are more connected than ever, yet many people feel deeply alone. Connection is not the same as closeness. Communication is not the same as understanding. A long contact list can still hide an empty social life. Human beings need more than information. We need presence, we need belonging, and we need to feel understood. Modern life also taught us to measure ourselves constantly. How much did you accomplish today? How much money did you make? How many people noticed you? The scoreboard never disappears, so even rest can begin to feel unproductive. You stop resting, you start optimizing, and eventually, life starts feeling like a project, but you were never meant to experience your entire existence as a checklist. There is another force shaping our dissatisfaction. Expectations. Modern culture gives us endless images of what life should look like. Perfect career, perfect relationship, perfect body, but reality cannot compete with an edited fantasy. The higher expectations rise, the easier disappointment becomes. You can succeed, and still feel behind because the mind measures life against what it thinks should exist. Sometimes the strangest emptiness appears after. Success you imagine the moment for years. Then the moment arrives, and suddenly there is nothing left to chase. So the brain creates another mountain, another promotion, another purchase, another milestone, another reason to believe happiness is still ahead, and we forget to notice how far we've already come. There is also something ancient working against us. The human brain pays powerful attention to problems. One bad moment can overpower 10 good ones. One negative comment can stay longer than dozens of positive ones. Our minds are not neutral recorders. They are constantly looking for what might go wrong. That instinct once helped keep us alive. But today, the threats are often psychological. A message, A comparison, A possibility. Sometimes the mind suffers from things that haven't even happened. So now the paradox becomes clearer. Life can objectively improve, while our emotional baseline adapts. Our comparison group expands. Our expectations rise. Our attention becomes fragmented. Our connections can become shallow, and our definition of success becomes harder to satisfy. Suddenly, the problem isn't mysterious anymore. Maybe the question isn't why is life getting worse? Maybe the better question is this: why does our experience fail to keep up with our progress? Because technology changes incredibly fast, but human psychology changes much more slowly. We are using an ancient emotional system inside a radically modern environment, and that mismatch creates friction. The answer may not be getting more. It may be learning to experience what we already have. Attention makes ordinary things feel richer. Presence makes connection deeper. Slowness gives the mind space. Distance from constant stimulation restores contrast. Gratitude changes what the brain notices, and perspective changes what enough feels like. The goal is not to reject progress. Technology can make life extraordinary, but convenience should serve life, not replace it. Success should create freedom, not another reason to work. More choices should create possibility, not endless confusion. So why does life feel worse despite getting better? Because progress changes our world faster than it changes our psychology. We adapt to what once amazed us. We compare ourselves with more people than ever. We expect more. We consume more stimulation, and sometimes we experience less connection. The result is a strange psychological paradox. We can have more and feel less, not because progress failed, but because the human mind was never designed to feel permanently satisfied. Maybe that isn't a flaw. It is part of what makes us human. We adapt. We explore. We want the next thing, but perhaps we also need to look back to remember what once felt impossible, to notice what already exists, and to understand that a better life is not always a life with more. Sometimes a better life is simply one we finally learn how to experience.